When I buy a small selection of Victorian pennies, they're usually like this, pretty worn. Everybody's seen the veil head of Victoria look like that, pretty worn condition. But look at this, sometimes you get a cracker turn up, beautiful condition. 1901, so that's the last year of Victoria's reign. I think that's excellent condition. And it got me thinking, how did Victoria become Queen? So let's have a look, shall we? There's her father, Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent and Strathearn, and there's her mother, Princess Victoria, the Duchess of Kent and Strathearn. Neither were monarchs, neither were king or queen, so why did Victoria become Queen? So first we need to go back a few years to the reign of Victoria's grandfather, King George III. George reigned from 1760 to 1820, that's nearly 60 years, and he was the longest reigning king of the United Kingdom. There he is in his coronation robes in 1761. Yes, that's the George that was the subject of the film The Madness of King George. That's a cracking film. I've only seen it once. I really think I need to watch it again. What's this got to do with Victoria becoming Queen, I hear you ask? Well, bear with me and it'll all become clear. Now, George III died on the 29th of January 1820, and his eldest son, also named George, inherited the crown and became King George IV. George IV actually became Prince Regent about 10 years earlier, which means that he was doing all the duties of the king due to his father's mental illness. George IV remained King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland until his death in June 1830. George IV did have a child, Princess Charlotte of Wales. She was very popular with the public, unlike her father George IV and her grandfather George III, and everybody was really looking forward to her becoming Queen one day. But she died in 1817 at the age of just 21, predeceasing them both. She died shortly after giving birth, and sadly the baby didn't survive. And as George IV didn't have any other children, we need to go back to his siblings, George III's children, and see who's next in line for the throne. George IV's brother and second child of George III was Prince Frederick, Duke of York and Albany. Now, did Frederick become king? No, I think we'd all know if we had a King Fred. Prince Frederick died 3 years earlier in 1827. And he didn't have any children to inherit the crown, so back we go again to George III. Now, the third child of King George III was Prince William, later to become King William IV. William reigned from 1830 to 1837. There he is there in his coronation robes from 1831. William IV did have children. In fact, he had quite a few, and they were George Fitzclarence, Earl of Munster, Henry Fitzclarence. I can't find a painting of Henry, but I'm quite a good artist, so I think he looked a bit like that. Sophia Sidney, Baroness de Lisle and Dudley, Lady Mary Fox, Lord Frederick Fitzclarence, Elizabeth Hay, Countess of Errol, Lord Adolphus Fitzclarence, Lady Augusta Gordon, Lord Augusta Fitzclarence, and Amelia Carey, Viscountess of Falkland. So they're the children of King William IV. In fact, my local pub is called King William IV. There it is. Can't wait to get back in there. Dying for a pint in there. So, out of all those children, which one of them became monarch? Well, none of them. Even though they were the children of William IV, they were also with his longtime partner, Dorothea Jordan. Dorothea was an Anglo-Irish actress, courtesan, and the mistress and companion of the future King William IV when he was the Duke of Clarence. Illegitimate children are not eligible for succession to the throne. William and Dorothea were together for 21 years, but they separated in 1811. And then in 1818, the king married Adelaide of Saxe-Meiningen, who would become Queen Adelaide. Yes, that's the Adelaide that the Australian city was named after. William and Adelaide did have two children, Princess Charlotte and Princess Elizabeth, but sadly Princess Charlotte only lived a few hours after being born, and Princess Elizabeth was under 3 months old when she died. So when William died in 1837, he had no heirs to the throne. So who's going to be the next monarch? Well, guess where we're going? Yep, we're going to go back again to the children of George III. Now, who was the fourth child of George III? Well, it was Charlotte, Princess Royal. Now, was she a legitimate child? Yes, she was. Is she still alive? No, she died in 1828. But the old succession laws said the heir to the throne is the firstborn son of the monarch. Only when there are no sons left in line of succession does the crown pass to the eldest daughter. So even if Charlotte was alive when her brother William died, she wouldn't have been allowed to succeed as queen. Back we go again to George III. Right, who was George's fifth child? Okay, it was Prince Edward, Duke of Kent and Strathearn. Now just a minute, we've come across him before, haven't we? Is he still alive? No, he died in January 1820. Not only did he die before his brother William, he died before his father George III. So, has he got any sons? No. Has he got any daughters? Yes. Is she a legitimate daughter? Yes, she is. I think we've got a new queen. Yes, Victoria became queen on the 20th of June 1837. Well, there we are, a little bit of information concerning Queen Victoria and how she became queen. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.